Welcome back, children. We are going to continue with the last part of the chapter, Basic Problems of an Economy. I've already sent you a video on production possibility curve, and I'm going to continue after that. Let's first understand the meaning of efficient use of resources. Efficient use of resources definitely means there shouldn't be any wastage. Now, efficient use can be in two ways. First, it can be in consumption. Second, it can be in production. Now, let's see how the resources can be utilized efficiently when we are talking about consumption. This answer I have sent it to you through a PDF and I'm going to explain it now. First of all, a person should be efficient in utilizing the resources. This means that the person's consumption should make him totally satisfied. That means he should have maximum utility. That means whatever he is using, it should give him maximum utility. He shouldn't be using more than that or less than that. On the top of that, if we talk about the society, then if one part of the society is well off, then definitely another part of the society has to be worse off. This has been explained while I had been explaining to you the PPC. That means if one commodity has to be increased, another commodity has definitely to be lowered. So in that case, we can say if an individual is well off, definitely another has to be worse off. Now what basically happens is that if condition A is violated, then an individual will be wasting his resources, and if condition B is violated, then the entire economy will be wasting the resources. Now when we talk about efficiency in production, we have to understand the perspective of the producer. Producer is efficient when there can be two alternative cases for this. A producer can be efficient if he gets maximum output at a minimum possible cost, or if at any given cost he can get maximum output. It's very easy to understand. That means he has to produce maximum at the lowest possible cost. But if this condition is violated, then the producer is said to be wasteful. Okay, so this is how a consumer and a producer can be efficient. The next part, 3.7.2, 3.8.1, 3.8.2 and 3.8.3 we are not going to go through. Let's directly come to economic growth and economic development. From this part, we are just going to learn the definitions of economic growth and economic development. And the most important part here is the table. That is the difference between economic growth and economic development. First, let us understand the meaning of both of these terms. Economic growth. What do you mean by economic growth? Economic growth means when the country grows quantitatively. Quantitative means in monetary matters. That means the country is earning hugely. So that is quantitative improvement. So what is economic development? Economic development means when the country improves not only quantitatively but also qualitatively. So economic development has economic growth as a part of it, plus the entire progress of the country. That means social progress, political progress, health progress. You can say education wise the country is progressing, poverty is being reduced, infant mortality is being reduced, there is an increase in the literacy rate, no gender discrimination is seen, very few people are dying at birth. That means the life expectancy at birth is increased. Okay, there are infrastructural betterments like transport, communication, electricity, irrigation, these have increased. Many more education institutes have been opened, and many health facilities or health centers have opened for the benefit of the people. So, where economic development basically means the increase in national income, that means the total income in the entire country for a year, or the per capita income, that means per head income. There, economic development means increase in definitely national income and per capita income plus the qualitative changes or betterments. Okay, so this difference and the definition of both of this are required. Other than this, we are going to study the last part, that is stages of economic growth. This has been given by the economist W.W. Rostow. He said that there are 5 stages of growth. That means a country can be categorized as to where it belongs from these 5 stages. In these 5 stages, we are going to see the first stage as traditional society. So, how is a traditional society explained? It's a society, or you can say it's basically the condition of a country where there are no consumption aspirations as such. That means the wants and desires of the people are very, very limited. So definitely in such a country there will be no savings. On the top of that, there will be no investment at all. Now comes the pre-takeoff stage. Pre-takeoff stage is a stage where people start aspiring for a higher standard of living. Savings gradually start. Definitely because of the savings, investments are also actively encouraged by the government. Okay, that means the economy or the country is trying its level best to start to progress. In that case, even economic infrastructures, social infrastructures are also built. Economic infrastructure are things like roadways, railways, all sort of communications, and social infrastructure means your education centers, health centers, something which builds up the society, and economy something which helps to earn in the economy. Next comes the takeoff stage. Takeoff stage is a stage which is also known as self-sustained growth stage. Self-sustained growth stage means your capital is accumulated fast. That means capital is produced in a huge amount and it is accumulated. That means it is stored. Huge amount of money flow is there, plus machineries, technologies are developed in a huge amount. There are huge amount of structural changes. That means all the infrastructures are bettered. Okay, people saves to a high extent. National income increases to a huge extent. The standard of living of the people are also very high. Then comes the stage of drive towards maturity. This is a stage where the economy moves towards the goal of becoming a mature economy with a high level. The characteristics, let's see them. There is a high level of per capita output. That means huge amount of production. Now, if the production are huge, definitely the sales will be huge, the earning will be huge. So, if the earning is huge, the standard of living of the people will also be very high. The last stage, that is the matured stage, where they have high mass consumption. Huge amount of consumption commodities are produced in this stage. Huge amount of consumption. Even this type of countries which fall in the high mass consumption category, these countries often suffer from excess of supply. This is the ultimate thing. Like country, if we talk about country like India, we lack commodities because we don't have enough resources to fulfill all our needs. But in a high mass consumption society, what happens is that they have so much that they can sustain themselves. On the top of that, they have enough to distribute, export, and then enough amount to even throw away. Their supply is excessive. See, they have given the example. Unfortunately, till now only a few countries of the world have reached this stage of high mass consumption. Countries like USA, Canada, Japan, and a few countries of Western and Northern Europe. Okay, so that's all in the chapter. We are going to begin with the next chapter in the next class. Thank you, children. Have a nice day.